Last time on the 20-Sided podcast, we met our three heroes as they each found a reason and an opportunity to board the maiden voyage of the R.M.S. Titanfall. Cleave Beefchief was hired by a mysterious stranger to discover why the schematics of the boat had been recently altered. Meadhbh Snailbaby was assigned to report on the grand event by her editor at R.M.S. magazine, despite it not being quite her cup of tea. She was told to focus especially on the newly crowned queens that were sailing to the Twilight Assembly after deposing their warmongering fathers. And Karis Thornbrow, newly arrived in town, snuck aboard the colossal ship after noticing that the royal crest of Queen Annabelle Tor of Slakehaven was remarkably similar to the amulet left with her when she was found abandoned as a baby. And now, we rejoin our heroes on the R.M.S. Titanfall. You guys begin to hear a caller kind of begin to come around and goes, dong, dong, dong. 1 hour on the Phoebe Promenade, 1 hour on the Phoebe Promenade, dong, dong, dong. You guys have a bit of time before the kind of like general meeting that the queens have called happens. What would you like to do?
I definitely want to start figuring out where I'm going to be staying, at least for the first night. So I would like to approach the closest living quarters, or whatever comes close to living quarters, by the, gears and doings of the ship.
Hell yeah. Make your way out. Go ahead and just roll either a stealth or deception check as you kind of like make your way out, just kind of like try to blend into the crew a bit.
Okay. I got an 18. Stealth, let's say stealth.
You quietly make your way out from behind these boxes, and you find yourself, a lot of the walls, especially down here, are like, kind of just like sheet metal. Mm-hmm. Nothing to adorn them. You see a lot of like porthole doors that seem to be crew quarters. And you see kind of along the top of the lines, there's just a lot of little words that say like Fathom Deck, which is clearly like this deck, and then a bunch of different designations and like kind of directions to where to go. So there's like a good like little map kind of on the walls here to help the crew get where they need to go. You get the sense that this, like the crew quarters, is well below the waterline, near the bottom of the ship. Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me.
Okay. 14.
You are kind of walking through the Fathom Deck, kind of like glancing around at these various markings high on the walls that kind of like denote where the directions are, kind of following them. And all of a sudden you, like not paying attention, you full on smash into something thick and like a little bit squishy. You
thick
kind of,
and squishy.
That wasn't the right. You bumped into something that's somehow both very hard and very soft at the same time. There's no other way to say it. You kind of like bounce back and all of a sudden look in front of you, and you see a massive, probably like 6 foot tall, 300, 400 pound turtle. This is just like a full on turtle person. You see he's got this kind of like very well maintained mustache that kind of like he's put a little wax into it. It's very strange. It's very dark hair on like a green turtle face. You're immediately taken back by that because, sorry, what can I help you with?
Can I?
Sure, yes. Cool. Yep.
Wow, you're much nicer than I thought.
Sure.
Than I thought.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Which way are you headed actually? Because I'm okay.
Same.
So the bathroom. Yes.
Bath. Yep. Same.
Yep. Okay, so I'll just you'll go and I'll go behind you, and I'll just be with you.
Or we could
wherever you go.
Go ahead and roll an insight check for me.
Insight to 14.
You're not entirely sure what's going on with this guy. With a 14, you notice two things. One, it looks like he's slept on, like he's got like those like face marks you get when you like sleep on a weird pillow on like one side of his face, and like his mustache is a bit like squished. Sure. And he looks like a bit sweaty and nervous. You want to go? We can go there. You want to go? Where were you going again? I could. How about I'll go first. I'll go first. I'll go this way, and you go that.
And I'll go that.
With
and I'll go That way. Sure.
Yeah. He just begins to slowly back away. And you look behind him, there is a staircase that you're pretty sure doesn't go anywhere desirable. Like, you're pretty sure it goes to, like, the engine room, maybe. He just kind of, like, keeps going backwards. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you, too.
You see him just kind of, like, quickly turn around, grab onto a door, try to open it, like, full-on faceplant into it. Go, wrong door. Pops in another one and just, like, goes into a random room, slams the door behind him. What does Karis do?
I would love to follow this guy around. I think he's involved in some kind of... You know what? I've never seen a giant turtle before. I'm just going to come out and say it. I've never seen one before. I'm scared. I don't know what to expect. He's a little shifty.
You do know there are not a lot of turtles in this continent. They're not, like, super rare, but it's like seeing... I don't have a good frame of reference.
Like seeing something crazy.
It's like, it's like seeing an iguana in rural Ohio. Like, they're there.
No, I get that.
But it's a little weird.
Okay, well, I think I would like to try and maybe eavesdrop or use maybe some sort of... I think I can send them a message or something.
Yeah, you can use the message spell.
Yeah. Can I use the message spell?
So with message, you essentially send, like, a telepathic message to someone. I think it's within, like, 300 feet. It can be, like, 25 words or less.
You know what? Instead, I'm just going to walk up to the door. I would like to knock on the door.
You knock on the door. Goes, yes, there's a person in here.
Okay, I'd like to try and trick him a bit and tell him that, because right now I'm just looking for a place to stay, and this guy seems to be in a vulnerable, like, I'll do anything to get you away from me sort of thing. So, can I do some sort of deception check to see if I can trick him into thinking I work on the ship and I need him to give me the key to his room?
Yeah, what do you say to him to try to trick him?
Say, sir, of course, you can recognize me. I'm from the top floor. I work here at this, boat. And,
yes?
We're just doing regulation maintenance.
Okay.
There's a couple leaks in a couple rooms.
No, we're all good down here.
I just want to check and see. Could you grab?
No, we're fine.
Well, I would like to grab your key for just a moment. I'll return it in a few minutes. While you relax here in the players' lounge.
No, I think you might have the wrong room. Everything's fine. Everything's fine here.
Sir, if you could just hand me your key and prove that you're on the boat legally, that would be very apropos of what I'm asking.
Go ahead. You can roll a deception check if you want. You can try to roll an intimidation check.
Let's roll an intimidation check.
Whatever you want.
Okay. 9 plus 3 is 9, 10, 11, 12.
You see the door sheepishly open. I don't actually have the key to this room. I was just taking a breather in the room.
All right.
The room is full on a dustbin, like full on a broom closet. Like his shell, like everything is on the floor because he went in there and like had to turn around and knock everything off. But you more than welcome.
All right, pal. I know what you were doing. You were, yanking your tail, so to speak. Just get out, you pervert. Get out of here. Get out of here before I take you to the captain, you turdvert.
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
Turdvert.
12.
And then go ahead and roll a deception check. Because you're trying to make believe as if you are a member of the crew.
Also 12.
He rolled a 17 on an insight check. He looks, you see, he gets like very worried for a second. Like you see like full on flop sweat. Like his mustache literally like curls down. And all of a sudden you see like the gears turn and something like kind of clicks. He goes, you don't work here. Right?
And you don't work here. Right?
Or we both work here. And we both have tickets.
Right.
Yes.
So as long as we both have tickets, how about
we both work here.
We both work here. How about I take my lunch break in this room
and
while
I'll go monitor the thing.
planks.
The planks. Yes.
Yes, that sounds great. Well, be kind, be good, sir.
Be kind.
Be good.
He like literally takes your hand, like isn't sure what to do as you like put your hands in. He just like takes them and holds them. He goes, yes.
And
okay.
also with you.
Yes. He just kind of like slowly, and he's like pretty fucking big. Like he barely fits in these like tiny hallways. You guys literally have to like skirt around each other. You hear his shout is, as it just goes right against this fucking sheet metal. As he turns around and kind of like slowly backs up and goes, okay, goodbye. We both work here.
That's the agreement.
And he full on turns around, and you see him, his whole body kind of goes limp. He goes, whew, and then walks up some stairs to a higher deck.
Okay, at this point, I close the door, try to get my bearings. Do I have a window in my room? Is there anything in the room?
Oh, the room that he was just in?
Yeah.
Full on broom closet.
Okay, actually.
There are mops and cleaning supplies. That's about it.
Okay, and is there any porthole in here?
No.
No, okay. All right, well, this is basically going to be my home until I can figure out how to get up to the next level, so...
You begin to, like, make your space in what could become your bed for the next couple days. You begin to, like, make it up nice. You kind of, like, grab... Because all the mop heads are completely fresh, so you kind of, like, lay them down, and they form, like, a pretty comfy little bed. If only you were shorter, you'd be able to, like, fully lay down, but you're kind of, like, hunched up a little bit. You kind of, like, make yourself feel comfortable. Up a little further, maybe, like, 5 decks higher, Cleave, you hear... Clink, clink, clink. 1 hour till the Phoebe Promenade, 1 hour. What does Cleave do in this hour?
Cleave has completely destroyed his room. I mean, everything is off the walls. I am searching for any kind of listening device, any kind of, any way that anybody could be keeping tabs on me in this room.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
It's gonna be a red hot 8.
You certainly tear apart the room. You start like tearing through pillows. You're doing all the old tricks that like you've planted listening devices places before in your private investigations. You all of a sudden kind of like step back after like 10 minutes of furious searching and realize you have no idea what you checked and what you hadn't checked yet. You just see like not fur, but like stuffing just sprayed everywhere. The full-on guts of like every comfy pillow in this place. You look around, you're like, I have no idea what I checked.
It seems like a job well done then. And I light up a cigarette.
You light up a cigarette. A sprinkler immediately comes on and just shoots it like with like this little tiny jet of water that just extinguishes your cigarette right there. You hear the ship's automated security system go, I'm sorry, there is no smoking on this deck. Please go to the top of the ship for all of your tobacco needs.
I just kind of look up at this thing in absolute disgust, and I want to try to dismantle this thing.
Go ahead and make a... You know what? How about a raw intelligence check?
Oh, this is not going to be good.
I'm going to say DC 10 to, like, take it apart badly. DC 15 to, like, actually take the pieces apart.
Oh, my God. So I rolled a 15. My intelligence is a -2.
So 13. You reached out. You've got some, like, lockpicking tools and stuff, like, tools of kind of your trade. You can, like, put them in, fully, like, bend one of your tools. You pull it down. You just kind of go, fuck it. You pull out your... revolver and just with the butt start banging on this thing. Not like 15 seconds later you hear excuse me, sir, Hello?
All right, Beefchief, time to turn on the charm. And I go answer the door. But I have the little like chain thing at the top still attached, so I just open it as far as you can.
You open it a crack. You see this massive, probably like 7 foot tall red dragonborn. So like a dragon humanoid. He's got these giant fucking arms, thick fucking thigh. This guy, even if he was standing 10 feet back, you wouldn't be able to fit him all in your vision. He's just a thick dude. And he's wearing like the equivalent of like a black polo t-shirt. And everything is just, this thing was not made for this guy. But he's trying to pull it off. It's got like a little like R.M.S. Titanfall embroidered on it and like this cute little lettering. Sir, we've had an automatic alarm that someone is trying to disable the sprinkler system. That is not allowed. Do you mind if I come in and just check it out?
Oh, God, actually, thank God you're here. I was going to call you. I think there's something wrong with the sprinkler system in my room. It's all jacked up.
What do you mean by jacked up?
Looks like this thing's falling apart on me.
Yeah, I think
Here,
you
take a look at
check
it.
it out.
And I open it up and I bring him over.
He looks up. I'm going to have him roll an intelligence check. I'm going to say he gets a +1 to intelligence. 15 and 13 or higher, and he puts 2 and 2 together. He rolled a natural 4. He looks up, sees this thing is like bent out of shape, and goes, Jesus, all right, I'll get someone down here, man. Sorry. Like, he looks at you. You're still holding your pistol, like, by the barrel. Like, the butt of it is, like, partially cracked. Just, like, holding it up by your face. And he goes, I'm so sorry, man. You know, we'll get this fixed for you. I don't want you to be getting sprayed with water for this whole trip. That would suck.
Nah. Before you leave, you think you can actually take this thing out of the ceiling right now? It keeps spraying me for no reason.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check. I'll say, with advantage.
All right. Ooh, 16?
He looks at you. He sees that you are like holding a cigarette that's just like dripping water. Yeah, let me take that thing down. He like reaches up and just fully yanks it out of the ceiling. You see like bits of the ceiling tile come with it. And he goes, really sorry, we're going to get this fixed for you in the next 2 hours. If you need anything, my name's Jerksy. He books it out of there. You see him like pulling up, like as this like little like maintenance person walks by. He goes, "Dude, we gotta get this fixed," and just like shoves it in the maintenance guy's arms. The maintenance guy just, what? Where does this go?
I look at the maintenance guy and I go, 2 rooms down.
Oh, okay, thanks. He just gave me this. He just passed it with no information. You see this little halfling kind of like waddles off down 2 and just begins to knock on all rooms that could possibly be 2 doors down. You spend your time, you light up your cigarette, now fully able to smoke in your room. Anything else you want to do in this hour?
Yeah, I just kind of want to look back and forth between the 2 blueprints again and try to think of any possible variation on why the boat would be heavier.
Of course. Go ahead and roll a investigation check. I'll say with advantage.
All right.
If you want to make a different check, you're welcome. Just let me know what you want to make.
Oh my God, nat 20.
Nat 20. You flick through the blueprint. So one thing you notice is the number getting smaller means the boat has for some reason gotten lighter rather than heavier.
Okay, so I had these backwards.
you hold up the 2, and on one of them there's like a number 1, and on the other one there's a number 2, and you just kind of like quietly to yourself switch them on the table. Shh.
I make a note in my notebook. Find Rachel. Ask why boat lighter.
You underline the lighter bit, cross out the heavier bit. You look down. These blueprints look very similar. With a natural 20 investigation check, the biggest change is this draft number, this like depth from the bottom of the hull to the waterline, and it is a pretty significant difference. Like, I mean, a couple feet doesn't sound like a lot, but percentage-wise, that's big for a ship of this size. You also notice a number of what appear to be like ornamental changes on the newer blueprints. You kind of look closer, and it just seems to be like little ornamental additions. And you've kind of like made note as you were walking around the ship. Like, you see various like gems and kind of like rune type things or like carvings. All of them made of like, beautiful rubies or like carved out of marble. They're kind of all around the ship, and they've just been kind of like marked on this second pass. With the 20, you're not entirely sure if that's a significant change or if this is like a normal, like you've never really looked at ship blueprints before. You're not sure if this is like an obvious like edit. You would only know. Go ahead and roll a intelligence check about how much you know about boats.
Could have just said boat history check.
I'll let you make a history check.
Oh, actually, I mean, hey, I'll take it. It's got to be better than my intelligence. Oh no, it's the same modifier. Yep, that's going to be a 9.
With a 9, it's tough to say why it would be so much lighter, but you know that difference in boat depth and draft depth would mean a significant amount of weight has been removed from this ship. But you're not entirely sure what or where. Or it is possible that the first plans were incorrect and this was a correction. But to really know, you have to likely find the architect and ask him directly. You do see one other thing with the natural 20 that you hadn't really noticed before, and that is the signature, Meadhbh Espinal.
Meadhbh Espinal.
And you know this to be, you've heard this name talked about. This is the person who designed the grandest ship in the land. Meadhbh Espinal is a famed architect and builder of boats and buildings alike, known as Mert to most people. One of the few turtle architects.
Where am I gonna find a turtle on this boat?
As you ponder that, we move 2 decks up to Maeve's wonderful room. You hear ding, 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 ding. 1 hour to the Phoebe Promenade. What's Maeve doing with this time?
I drop off my luggage just on the bed, and then I sit my little butt on the bed for 1 second just to kind of get to experience the cloud-like nature. And then I decide, might as well front load all the work I have to do. So I go up to the deck and start looking around, writing stuff down in my little notebook.
Hell yeah. You begin to go up. You are on the first class accommodation, which is on the 7th floor. The floors are counted from the bottom up. And you're just inside like the hull of the ship, still well above the waterline. Going up the 8th floor is largely, as you begin to like ascend these various staircases, the 8th floor is mostly a massive casino. You see a lot of the high rollers have come up here and are already beginning to like spin roulette wheels. You hear chants of people and what appear to be like some kind of like dice game going, "Can't stop, won't stop, can't stop, won't stop." As you kind of like ascend past that. The 9th floor is the Phoebe Promenade, which is where you originally entered going down that very grand staircase. Is a double tall ceilings, truly glitz, glam, champagne, rose-colored everything. You see floating in the center of this room is this crazy chandelier that like bobs as if against gravity. Kind of like twists around, kind of giving this like elegant disco ball type feel of like gold and diamond glinting around the room. There's a band playing in the corner, all of them full white tie, brass and some strings, and this drummer that's like really going to town on it. And then you go up 1 deck further to the open air, the Twilight deck. And this is a full open air deck. You see there's like a big pool in the center. There's a bunch of people playing shuffleboard. All of them in like white tie and gowns. Indubitably. Pushing these little discs. You see, martinis, champagne, just drinks flowing everywhere. Around the sides are like all the lifeboats. And then there are like 3 big smokestacks in the center. Just billowing this thick white smoke that's trailing out behind you. As you look to the south, where you guys had come from, you see the twin ports vanishing in the distance. They're just a speck on the horizon now. As you look out in front of you and see, in all directions almost, the wide open blue liminal sea.
Can I roll a perception check and see if I spot anyone who looks particularly interesting?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll insight or investigation.
Okay, cool. Okay. I got a 14.
14. What kind of person is Meadhbh looking for?
I'm looking for anyone who doesn't seem like they're there just to have a good time. Like maybe they look a little uncomfortable.
You see one such person. She doesn't look like she's having a good time, but it seems to kind of be because the company around her, and you see the company around her is, from your eyes, I mean, as far as you can tell, the wealthiest of the wealthy. Like, these people are full on white tie, extravagant gowns. One woman has a full, like, a bangle that is like a bangle. That's the word, bracelet.
Yeah.
That seems to be a single diamond that has been like carved into a bangle. You see, there's 4 of the wealthiest people you've ever seen. This is ostentatious, insane, sickening wealth. And there's a woman standing in the middle of them. She's kind of like a bit of a squat halfling. Go ahead and roll me. You rolled an investigation check?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Okay. Oh God, a 6.
With the 6, you see a woman that seems a little bit still very wealthy, but much more quiet about it. You're not entirely sure. She does seem to be out of touch with these insanely wealthy people. You do get the sense that they are all kind of talking to her, and she's looking a little bit bored with it.
Okay, I want to go up and join their conversation.
You kind of sidle up. You see this one guy, he's got one of those like long cigar holder or cigarette holder things. He's just smoking out of it with 2 fingers. So this thing like full on, like almost hits you in the face. He goes, I think this is going to be a fine journey. Yes, a fine journey. Cassandra, I think your boat is fantastic. I've really loved my accommodations so far. You see the little halfling woman who he addressed as Cassandra just goes, yes, darling, I understand, but I hope you have a good time. But I think I might be needing to get on with my other guests. So thank you very much for your time. And you see all of them kind of like attempt to glom onto her a little bit. Just, stay just a moment with us, please. Oh, no. I'm afraid I must go look at my other... And she's clearly trying to get out of this conversation.
And so I say, oh my gosh, Cassandra, I've been looking all over for you. Come with me. And save her from the conversation. Like it was a bad dude that was hitting on her.
She looks you up and down. I'm going to go ahead and roll an insight check for her. Meadhbh, what, compared to the other people here, what is Meadhbh wearing? Like, who's she sporting? What's she looking like?
She is wearing, everyone else is kind of like, really going all out. But Meadhbh is wearing something like Tina Fey would wear to the Emmy Awards, just like a black dress. I'm from New York. I flew in for the day. Get me out of here kind of thing. Like the minimum she has to be wearing so that when her editor hears about what she was wearing, he's not going to fire her for like dereliction of duty. But
sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Okay, what does disadvantage mean?
So roll twice and take the lower of the 2.
Okay. Oh, glob. Okay, so 8.
You see this woman who is begging to be saved from a conversation she does not want to be in with people who she does not want to be seen with, despite their glitz and glam and their high status. She looks you up and down and fully chooses to not take the save. You fully get another glimpse of her. You see that this is the quiet, like she's not dressed to the nines in the same way these other people are. She's clearly elegant, but she has the quiet opulence of someone who is so wealthy they don't need to show it off. She sees you attempt to help her, fully turns away from you and walks the other way.
All right, well, I'm not going to let sleeping dogs lie. I'm going to walk after her. I'm just going to kind of walk behind her, see where she's going.
Are you trying to be stealthy about it, or are you just like walking behind her?
Yeah, I'm trying to be stealthy.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Okay. A 9.
I'm going to roll a perception check for her. Let's see what she sees. Yeah, she rolled a 10 plus 2, so 12. You start walking behind her. She walks directly through a shuffleboard game, and everyone stops and kind of out of respect gives a small bow as she walks past. And then as you walk past, they fully start the game up again, and your feet get just clattered with these different things. Oh, fuck. She turns back around. I'm sorry, can I help you?
And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. Hi, my name is Meadhbh Snailbaby. I am a staff writer at Shams magazine.
Her eyes immediately roll. The biggest fucking roll you've ever seen in your life. If they could tumble from her head.
I know.
Oh, member of the press, I see. I heard we gave out one of those ghastly credentials. I assume you want some kind of quote for your article.
Yes, that would be great. And then I won't have to bug you about it again.
Okay, ask me your question. What do you want to know?
Okay. Can I roll an insider perception to have any idea who this person is?
Yeah, go ahead and roll with advantage.
Okay. Okay, so 24.
Ooh.
Meadhbh does not take in high society at all. She doesn't care. She doesn't know who most of these people are. You get the sense that everyone on this boat knows who each other are, and they've probably been featured in your magazine in some ways. You don't read those sections. But there are certain people that ascend past that. Even if you're not trying to hear about them, you hear about them. This is Cassandra Divorcée. This is the owner of this ship. Built with her own money, not on credit. She fully just paid for this ship in cash.
Oh my God.
Does Meadhbh's check allow her to know whether that is a married name? Or whether she was born with it?
Or if it's Maybelline.
Absolutely Maybelline. Meadhbh, you know this woman is not a black widow, but she marries for money and fully sucks people dry. She was exorbitantly wealthy before she married. She is thrice divorced now. All of them through crazy machinations has taken all of her partner's money.
Icon.
Very much not a person to be fucked. She is in no way a physical threat to anybody. One word from her could do just about anything.
Okay. Cassandra.
Yes,
what I
darling.
know from you is...
Come, I haven't told her.
Okay. Cassandra, you paid for the ship with your own money. It's
Yes.
being used by these two nations. What happens to the ship?
It's all very exciting.
What happens to the ship if the two nations go to war again? What country gets it? What country does it actually belong to?
Go ahead and roll me a perception or insight. You can choose.
Okay. 17.
You see a flash of something in her eyes. Her eyes flicker for but a moment. You try to read exactly what it is. You cannot. She immediately throws up this kind of big air about her that just fully buffets you out of trying to read this woman who can deceive just about anybody. Or at least obfuscate. Well, darling, I paid for it with my money. It stays with me, of course. Now, obviously, I want everyone to enjoy my ship, to get out, to go boop, 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 around. But if for some reason this doesn't happen, I'll set it up as a little floating mansion for all my friends if I have to.
Oh, that's so
Does that answer your question? I will find a way to make money from this venture no matter what.
Yes, that is enormously helpful, and thank you so much for your quote. I'll leave you to it.
I certainly hope you will. Enjoy your stay.
Thank you.
What was your name again, so that I can forget it?
Meadhbh, that's Meadhb, and then one more H.
She
And then my
fully, she flints her face, says, fuck no. And just walks away, doesn't wait for the last name. Just like, no. You could see her planning some kind of insult and was just like, no, that's not worth it. As she walks away, you see her beginning to descend down to the Phoebe Promenade, as you hear clink, clink, clink. Everyone to the Phoebe Promenade! The Queens would like to make an address! Everyone to the Phoebe Promenade! The Queens would like to make an address! Do you guys all head there, or does anyone want to skip this bit?
I can hear this too.
Yeah, they're going through
all the way.
From up top, you hear this very like stately caller. From down below in the ships, you just hear someone go, "Everyone, we gotta get up to the thing, the Queens. I don't know, ninth floor, right now. Come on, guys. No, get the fuck. I don't care if you're taking a shit. Get up there."
I know, I'm for sure going. Yeah.
You see a guy like literally coming out of the bathroom, like trailing toilet paper. It's just like, what? Everyone begins to spiral up, spiral down to the Phoebe Promenade. You guys begin to stand in this area. You see an immediate, Maeve, you clock this immediately because this is the kind of thing you're looking for. There's very much a dividing line of class here. Everyone in the front is clearly this like very like wealthy class, all sitting at these like, you know, beautiful tables, perfectly set. And then like everyone's second class has been like invited up to this floor. And so it was like standing around the outsides, and the crew was even like further back. They're like partially in the hallway. This room wasn't meant to fit all of these people. It was meant to fit the first class people. There's like double the people here. You guys begin to see this is about, the number of people on the ship is probably like 1,500 strong, passengers and crew included. You see the band begins to play. You see the crazy goblin drummer who's kind of acting as the conductor a bit. He's like you see the drummer is up front, facing the band like the conductor, but is drumming and also like conducting with a baton. It's a whole vibe. But he's rocking it.
It's the vibe.
Maeve, you see Cassandra Divorcée come up to what appears to be like some kind of like microphone thing. You see her tap it. Oh, hello everyone. I thank you so much for joining me on this inaugural Q's of the R.M.S. Titanfall. Here, very polite applause from all the people up front, and like hoots and hollers from the back. Yeah! Yes, quite. First, I'd like to introduce our captain. Captain, please come up. You see this tiny, like from the back, you guys can't even see him, but like maybe if you're kind of up front, so you see this gnomish man. He's maybe like 3 feet tall, full on sailor's regalia, all in the whites, you know, perfect hat, tipped exactly the right way, very prim and proper. He's got, you know, a bit of scruff on him, but in that way that like is very respectable somehow. You know, he's the Dos Equis most interesting man in the world. He's got like that amount of beard. I guess more beard than scruff. He comes up to the microphone. She like fully lowers it down to its lowest setting for him. Hello, everybody. I am Captain Beezus Clearwater. Welcome to the ship. I hope we're gonna have some smooth sailing. It's gonna be a 3-day journey. You know, I think that's gonna be so much fun. I look forward to getting to know a lot of you. At the captain's table, and of course, I'll be making my way down to the lower quarters as well. We're gonna have some smooth sailing here. We've got no weather on the forecast, so I hope everyone has some fun, and let's have a good time out there. Okay, yeah, everybody give it up for me. Yeah. You hear a bunch of people like clapping, hooting, and hollering. I'm very happy to. I didn't think I was gonna get to do this part, but it turns out I am. I'm gonna introduce your queens. They are fresh off of their. Nope, not gonna say that. They're You see this guy like stumbling at the mic. He's not quite a public speaker. Queen Camille McQuick of Slakehaven, and Princess Annabelle Tor of Tottenpool. Okay, come on up, everybody. The two princesses, now queens, kind of walk to the center stage together, each of them carrying the banners, the flags of their respective nations. You see them shake hands with their guards behind them. Each of them has brought, otherwise normally like queens and princesses and kings would travel with like a large retinue of guards. Each of them has just brought their right hand guard. Maeve and Cleave, you see someone you know to be Sir Tiffany Fex. It's just like badass warrior woman. And then on the other side, Cleave, you would recognize Sir Warwick Blitz, who is a paladin of Twilight, a patient. He was the former Kingsguard under King Bonathan McQuick before he was killed by Princess, now Queen, Camille. Everyone in this moment, go ahead and roll an insight check.
9.
6.
12.
Cleave and Karis, you guys are just kind of taken in by the pageantry of it. There is a bit of elegance to this. As they kind of like walk forward, they shake hands. They exchange flags in this very like ceremonial way. Kind of like a little better than like soccer players exchanging jerseys, but it kind of has that feel to it. They both kind of accept it with a curt nod. Meadhbh, with a 12, you notice two things. One is just the tone of the room. And you've obviously, you've been in both Slakehaven and Titanfall for some time. You feel kind of an energy of kind of a collective sigh of relief. Like this is a moment of reckoning, a moment of reconciliation. But there is also a bit of a charge that these are two people who just killed their dads. So there is a bit of a stutter to the applause that happens. Maybe with that 12, you also notice when the queens shake hands, there is a look of something. You see, they shake hands for just like a moment longer than you expected. The exchange of these flags is just a little bit awkward and like clumsy in a way that is not very like dignified. You're not really sure what to make of it. You just kind of like alight on that for a moment. And then it kind of like fades. You kind of like begin to write it into your article in your head, trying to figure out what the words you would use to describe the vibe in here. The queens kind of approach the mic together. You see Princess Camille kind of steps up, gives this kind of like small ceremonial bow to everybody. You see she's got kind of like a Rachel from Friends haircut. Goes up to... I've been watching a lot of Friends recently because I guess
the
that's the
Phoebe promenade.
Oh no! Oh yeah, I hadn't even put that together. Phoebe came from a different thing, but that's fine.
Phoebes.
Yo, Phoebes. It's now the Phoebes promenade for sure. She walks forward and goes, I'd like to thank you all for joining us on this momentous journey. Obviously, it's been a long, arduous journey to peace, and I'm so happy that so many friends and distinguished guests are joining us as we repair the rifts that our countries have faced in recent days. Thank you. The audience kind of... Yeah. You see people like very quickly move to a respectful applause, but it's a bit worried. She kind of like shuffles back a little bit. You see Queen Annabelle Tor comes up. She's got her, crazy crop of like multicolored hair. Her crown kind of like still askew, even more askew now. Like she's like really made a show of it. She walks up to like fully like grabs the mic, pulls up and goes, all right, I think we should talk about what's on everyone's mind. Yes, our fathers were assholes. Yes, we killed them. Yes, we are now queens. We're going to fix everything right today. We killed our fathers and ended the war on the same day. Let's just get that off our minds. Everyone's beating around the bush, and I'm tired of it. So what we're going to do here, we're going to sail to the Twilight Assembly. We're going to give them our flags, and then everything's going to be hunky-dory, and we're going to rule wonderfully. Does that sound good to everybody? Does that sound good to everybody? Yeah, okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Again, thank you. Good night. Fully drops the mic. People, again, is less of a it's probably more confused of an applause. Okay. As you see people kind of go back about their days, you see the crowds begin to like kind of disperse a little bit. The captain gets back up. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. We are going to have a dinner tomorrow night in the honor of our two queens. Attendance is recommended. We're going to have a number of major announcements regarding the coming peace. We advise you to attend if you are able. However, I'm sure if you don't, you'll hear about it pretty quick anyway. There's a lot of big news. In the meantime, please enjoy your stay. And have a good, sail. He also drops the mic, just like kind of stands there slowly, fumbles for it, picks it back up.
Oh, sorry, that was. Did I break it? Oh, okay, no, it's fine. Okay, sorry. Have fun!
The crowd disperses. You see the second class and the crew quickly kind of ushers the second class out as politely as they can without incident. Karis and I'll say Cleave. Can both of you make perception checks for me? Mm-hmm. Actually, I'll say Meadhbh. Go ahead and make a perception check as well. Karis, you can do it with advantage.
All right.
I got a 23.
Oh, girl. I got a 15.
And I'm leading the pack with a 4.
With a 15, Karis, you look over and as through the crowd, you see really the only familiar figure to you, quickly getting shoved out. The crew is clearly ushering people along. There's one person who's kind of making a scene, and it is the massive turtle that you had seen before, and he's kind of pushing you. No, I need to talk to just the cap. I need to talk to the cap. And he's just getting pushed back. And they go, come on, dude. No, come on. Yeah, I don't care who you say you are. You're not. No. But I think I'm gonna have to see you take it. So I'll go. Meadhbh, you immediately clock this guy, and with a 23, you recognize him. Mm-hmm. This is Meadhbh Espinal, Mert, the architect of this ship. You've normally seen him done up in photographs. He looks pretty schlubby right now. He looks like he's been through the ringer. Mm-hmm. And he's just fully getting manhandled by these just steerage crew members with thick arms and even thicker necks. Oh. Yeah, there's the visual. They're also halflings, so a third his size, and they're just fully pushing him. Cleave, you're just getting pushed out with everybody because you're also a second class. So you're next to this happening, and you're not really paying attention to it. You're just kind of getting funneled out to the lower decks.
God, sure would be a lot easier if Mert was here.
Standing right next to you, he's going, "No, but I'm Meadhbh Espinal. I designed the ship. My name is on the blueprints. It's on." He literally pulls out a second copy of the blueprints and unfolds it, hits you in the face, goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Look, my name."
I get hit in the face and I'm like, "Watch where you're going with those blueprints, pal."
He unfolds it and some of the ink sticks to your face and it fully says backwards Meadhbh Espinal on your forehead. As you're ushered away, he, after a few minutes, kind of gives up this attempt and begins to head down. Meadhbh and Karis, what are you doing?
I know for me, I'm feeling a very familiar urge, which is the urge to pick some pockets.
You are in a pickpockets heaven right now. There's a bunch of people all stuck in a area getting pushed around. Everyone's getting jostled. If you want to roll a sleight of hand check, I'll say you can do it with advantage.
Okay. Oh, that's up. 24.
Who are you looking to pickpocket? Or do you want to maybe roll a perception check to see who?
Yeah,
for sure. Are you looking for something cool or something expensive?
I'm looking preferably something expensive, because I'm thinking maybe I can run one of my scams where I pretend that someone dropped something to get information or influence.
And are you going for one of the second class citizens, one of the crew members, or are you trying to dip forward to get one of the first class crew members' pockets?
I'm trying to dip forward, but really I'm just trying to move up as quickly as possible. So I'll take what I can get, but I'm going for
go ahead and roll
a
perception or insight to try to find your best mark.
Okay. My perception. 16. Perception.
16. You see a woman in this very, very elegant gown. Most of the gowns here are fairly gauche. Is gauche the right word? Too much?
Ooh, I don't know.
Gauche?
Sure.
I've never used that word before.
I know. Is it gauche to say? I feel like
is it gauche to say gauche?
I don't know. Is she
most
saying
people
that?
are wearing these. Most of these people are wearing this outlandish outfits. This one seems to be wearing like a fairly elegant, conservative gown. Clearly, still like literally studded with diamonds. You see, she's carrying like a small pocketbook, or like a clutch. You reach into it. Your hands, deft as can be, immediate. Like this mechanism. You've played with these types of bags before. You look down in your hands, like your fingers move like a 1930s secretary going through a Rolodex. Just like
Operator.
You immediately pull out the thing that feels best. You look down in your hand and you see a full-on golden key to a first-class compartment.
Ooh.
Room 22.
Ooh. Ooh. I am having an internal battle right now. This is like the find. If you want to get in literally anywhere. But I also know that I can pick a lock better than anyone probably on this boat. So when it comes down to it, I'd rather earn the trust of someone higher up than break and enter and see what I can get that way. So what I want to do is pick it up and put on my dopiest, like, innocent girl face and return it to its owner.
You bend down, kind of like palm this key on the ground, pick it up, kind of like tap the woman on the shoulder. She turns around. This is a like high elven woman. You see, she probably like looks to be in her early 40s or like late 30s, which means in elven years she's probably like a couple hundred years old.
Yeah.
Very conservative, elegant gown. You hold up the key to her. Her eyes like immediately kind of like twinkle. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, you were so quick. Did you? Oh my, is that my key?
Yeah, it's actually your key. I'm so sorry. I don't want to interrupt, and I'm sorry if I'm not.
Oh no, you're not interrupting at all. Oh no, sweetie, thank you so much.
I'm just very embarrassed, you know. I look like this, and you're so beautiful.
No. This is a rental.
And you're funny.
These are cubic zirconium for sure. They just look good. She kind of like pulls you up. One of the crewmen kind of like tries to grab you in.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Like fully like ducks his arm, and he kind of just sorry, ma'am. She kind of pulls you into her confidence. You hand her the key, and she goes, honestly, half these people are total fucking phonies. That guy, fake hair. There are hair growing serums, but he's decided to wear a toupee instead. Why? He thinks it's a choice. We all know. Let's see. Him. No, I don't know how he's paying for this. He maxed out every line of credit he had. He should not be here. That woman, full on fake head.
And I look over.
She got a full on head.
She turns around, and it's just
this woman, like, you see a human woman, like, turn around and her head follows behind her, like, a second too late. And kind of, like, swivels.
My God. I'm picturing
and, like,
that
jiggles
vine.
for a second.
You know that vine with Take On Me, where it's the girl with the hoodie? Yeah, the mannequin head.
Yeah, her shoulders are very active, but... Yeah, I'm definitely soaking this up.
She, like, very quickly points out, like, half of the people, and you see all the people who, at first glance, you think of as, like, top 10 choices to pickpocket. And she gives you the lowdown on why each of them is, like, secretly broke. All of a sudden, she's kind of, like, really up in your confidence, like, right up in you, and she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm Esme. What's your name?
Oh, I'm thinking really quickly because I want to gain her trust, but I can't possibly give her my real name. So I stutter a little bit and say, Saris Ferris?
Go ahead and roll a deception check. And I'll roll an insight.
Please, God. 16?
She rolled a natural 19 plus 3.
Eat my butt.
You see her, she fully knows you're lying, but, like, just lets you do it. She goes,
Oh, I love her.
Saris Ferris?
Yes. Saris Ferris. That's 2 S's, one I, an F.
I don't think I'm gonna need to spell it, honey. But
in there. Okay.
that probably came out a little disrespectful, but like Sarah's Ferris, I get it. You know, I'm there.
Yeah, it's a normal name wherever I'm from.
Wherever that is. Hey, listen, I'm a little tired of this place. Do you want to maybe like go down to the steerage class? I hear the drinks down there are way stronger and the company way more fun.
Oh God, I could almost like taste the shrimp cocktail and like whatever the hell they eat, quiche. Like I was ready to go to a first class crepes. Like I was ready to go to that first class dining hall and grub out. But I don't know. It sounds attractive to like, but I don't know who this person is or what kind of status she has. Can I roll a little, I don't know, insight or something to get a read?
Check. Insight,
like give her the up and
perception
down?
if you want. I think insight's probably the best though.
Okay. Oh, insight 19.
You recognize Esme as she's definitely wealthy, like she definitely belongs here, does not care for the company. She seems pretty genuine in the fact that she belongs here. These are technically her people. She does not like a single one of them. You can see, like, she can hold her own in this kind of, like, high society world.
Yeah.
But looking around, you can see the disgust on her eyes. She's just like, yeah, this is a lot.
All right. So now I'm getting the feeling that I could potentially build some sort of... This could be some kind of an inn, so I should probably follow it. But
you definitely get the sense that of the people, like, willing to easily accept you, this is a person who will likely do so.
Okay, can I just ask her a quick question? Which is, or I try to say it in passing so it doesn't seem like anything. But I look at her and say, you know, like, let's go. It's a far cry from the Queen's quarters, eh? Like, to try to get a sense of how far up the chain she has connections with.
Sure, go ahead and roll just roll a straight charisma check.
Straight charisma.
Yeah, just roll a d20 and just add your charisma modifier.
Why not gay charisma? This is really...
You can roll a gay charisma check, add 2.
Wait, go. 15?
You see her, I'm going to have her roll a little thing. She kind of takes stock of you. Honey, I don't know how high you're trying to climb here, but this is only a 3-day journey. I don't think you're going to get to those particular bed chambers, if you know what I mean.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. I have no interest. Please. Please. And I just, like, keep laughing uncomfortably and hope that, like...
She just kind of, like, pats you on the shoulder and goes, let's go get wasted.
Now you're speaking my language.
She begins to walk off with you down to the 6th floor. As she does, she fully, like, spins her gown. Like, she pulls up, like... For a moment, you think she is about to, like, rip her gown fully off of her. But as she does, it, like, slings over her shoulder, and she's now wearing, like, a still very elegant, but clearly, like, fits in with the second-class steerage gown.
Right.
Some kind of, like, weird, like, quick change outfit. She looks at you as you kind of, like, see this happen. She goes, what? Just kind of walks down. You guys make your way down to the 6th floor bar, and you see here, like, full-on... like hoedown vibes going on. People are like dancing and merry. Whereas upstairs it's all martinis and champagne and like very well mixed muddled drinks. Here it is steins of beer. It's beer, ale, and whiskey. That's it. Meadhbh and Cleave. Or Meadhbh, what are you doing? You immediately clock as this is going down. You see this whole exchange with Karis and Esme. And you kind of like just note it in your head as like a maybe thing to add to the article. And you see one of the people you're meant to get a quote from being pushed down to a lower floor.
Yeah, I go follow after my friend Myrtle the turtle.
Hell yeah. Cleave, what are you doing? As you're getting like pushed down with this second class group, kind of like you're getting herded roughly to the same place.
I'm just going with the flow.
You just kind of like get pushed along just kind of like enjoying the bounce of like the people in this room. You find yourself in what is called just the HMS saloon. And just this full-on like hoedown square dance type area. And you see a large fucking turtle. I mean, there's no way to hide him. He's the biggest thing here. Sitting at the bar, 2 huge steins of beer in his hand, just sipping on each of them, just kind of muttering to himself. And Meadhbh, you clock him immediately.
I sidle on up next to him at the bar and introduce myself. Hi, Myrtle. I'm a big fan of your architecture. I'm writing about the strip for Sean's magazine. I was wondering if I could get some quotes from you.
You want to write about me?
Yes.
You see me, right? I am Meadhbh Espinal.
Yes, I see you.
Okay, I thought I was going crazy because I keep telling people who I am and they just don't believe me. I show them my blueprints, and he fully pulls out the blueprint. Like, I've shown them my blueprints, and they're just like, no, you're not that person. I had to sneak onto the ship, my ship. Okay, I'm gonna give you the you want the skinny? You want the scoop? You want the gas? They've been fucking with my ship.
What?
Yes.
How?
My boat is a number of tons lighter. I don't know why. A full inspection needs to be had. This is not... Strictly speaking, this is not, strictly speaking, a seaworthy vessel anymore. Like, we're not gonna, likely sink. But if we hit some particularly bad weather, we could possibly sink.
Oh my God. When did this start to happen?
Everything was fine a year ago. The ship was built. No place to go. It sat in the harbor, just sitting there. We were fully blockaded by the assembly, couldn't go out. I thought, my job's done. Yes? No. Wrong. Apparently, a couple of months ago, 6-7 months ago, people start tweaking my design, my perfect design. My design I've spent roughly 100 years slowly tinkering with. I finally get the money to build it. I build it perfectly. And now, that tinker. And now, it's a broken boat. Just fully, like, slams down one of his beers. One gulp, 32 ounces down.
Myrtle, when did people... Was Cassandra and were the queens, talking to you while they were tinkering, or were they just ignoring you this entire time?
I have never spoken with the queens.
No.
I've never spoken with none of them. This was done without my... Cleave. What are you doing right now? As you kind of come in and you clock Meadhbh, this, elven woman kind of sidle up, and it gets very chummy with Meadhbh very quickly.
I just go up and not really thinking that there's any way that this turtle could be Meadhbh. I just kind of sidle up on the other side of him at the bar, try to get the bartender's attention.
You see the bartender, this human woman comes up wearing like a full-on bartender apron thing around the middle, and she goes, yeah, what, beer, ale, whiskey, all 3? We can do all 3. She fully pours 3 into a glass and just hands it to you. Can everyone here roll a perception check? Karis, you're kind of drinking with Esme in the corner. She's buying some beers and she seems to be pounding beer in a surprisingly, for what you would have expected, aggressive way.
I rolled a 22.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I rolled a 15.
Okay.
I also got a 15.
Karis, you notice it first, possibly because you're of the kind of criminal sect. You feel your danger radar blip. And it's only a few seconds later that Meadhbh and Cleave notice it too, because, Karis, you begin to hear sounds of a brewing argument. You hear a couple of people at the bar just kind of beginning to talk louder to each other, and you hear the tones begin to get aggressive and aggressive. What'd you say to me?
I didn't say nothing. What are you talking about? Fuck you.
fuck me, fuck you, fuck you, fuck off. And she's getting louder and louder. And Cleave and Meadhbh, this is happening. Like, there is Meadhbh in the center, Meadhbh on one side, Cleave on the other side, and on either side are the two people in this fight, and are full on like yelling across you. All of a sudden, you see Cleave. Can you go ahead and roll me a dexterity saving throw?
Oh, God.
As the woman behind Meadhbh fully picks up a beer bottle and chucks it at the other guy.
I got a 12.
You attempt to move out of the way, and the beer bottle, like being this weird shape, fucking like kind of spins at the last thing, kind of clips you for 2 points of damage. As all of a sudden this beer bottle like whacks you and slides off. You see him go, "Hey, what the fuck do you think you're doing?" He pulls up a stein, smashes it, and like now has like essentially broken glass knuckles on either of his hands. They begin to like head towards each other. You see a fight happening between these two people near you. Cleave, Meadhbh, Karis, what do you guys do in this moment?
I got hit. I'm getting in it.
Can I use my rope of climbing to wrap around the feet of the guy who's throwing the bottle or whatever and try to like disarm him? Is that an option?
Go ahead and roll me an attack with your rope of climbing. Let's go ahead and roll a d20, add your dexterity modifier as you try to like flip it around his feet.
Dexterity. 12.
So you, through like the chaos of this room and people starting to get out of the way, you try to like whip this rope, kind of like you like pull it out of instinct and just it kind of like scatters against some other people's feet and kind of like lays limp on the ground.
Oh shit.
Cleave, you begin to like get in the way of the guy in front of you who's like charging towards this woman.
Oh, yeah.
You stand in front of this guy. He's probably about your size, maybe a bit bigger. The woman behind you has broken 2 beer bottles, has like essentially 2 full-on daggers in her hands, and is easily bigger than you. She's a full-on half-orc, and he is like just a beefy human. Do you see these guys getting ready for this attack? You go ahead and roll me roll an opposed strength check to see if you can just kind of like hold him at bay. He rolled a 5 plus 3, so you just got to be Nate.
Oh, I did not. Got a 6.
He fully puts his hand in your face, shoves you to the bar, and begins to walk past you. Meadhbh, what are you doing in this moment?
Okay. I am going to... I hate to do it, but can I try to use vicious mockery on the guy, actually the woman behind me?
Yeah, go ahead and she's got to roll, I believe, a wisdom saving throw.
I think maybe. Yeah.
She rolled a natural 18.
Oh, God. It says 13, so she wins.
You recognize that she is... Actually, you know what? Go ahead and roll me an insight check for me.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay. A 6.
You're not sure. This woman, at first glance, like when you kind of like saddled up next to this guy, you thought this was like a woman that was drinking and just like getting drunk. For some reason, she has a particularly sharp mind to like not get affected by this. You see her pull out the bottle from around you, go to slice towards this guy. You see her slip and plant it directly into Meadhbh's neck. Meadhbh,
absolutely not.
Meadhbh takes 5 points of damage as all of a sudden you see, as he like is clutching his neck, blood coming out of it. Can everyone please roll an insight check for me?
Oh my god.
12.
16.
14.
Meadhbh and Cleave, you guys both see this and you are horrified. Cleave, you begin to like try to get in there. Meadhbh, you're looking at the person who's supposed to be giving you quotes and like has this great story, possibly like slipping through your fingers. Karis, you notice something entirely different. From a few steps back, you see something very different from the two of them. Cleave and Meadhbh, in the moment, in the heat of that battle, you saw a woman slip, try to hit a man, and accidentally hit a bystander. Karis, you know he was the target. You see these two people play-acting a fight with one man in the middle with a big shell about to get a whole bunch of glass in him. I'm gonna need everyone to roll initiative.
I'm so nervous for my bro.
Oh god, I got a natural 1.
Oh. So did I. Well, no.
Are you serious?
4.
Oh my god.
Still not 1.
I got a 7.
7. Meadhbh and Cleave, you guys see a fight happening in front of you between two people not realizing what the true stakes are. Karis, you see a deception unfolding in front of you, the reasons for which you do not yet understand. And that's where we'll leave it for this episode.
Oh my god.
Tune in next week on the 20 Sided Podcast. Good night, everybody.